So hey beautiful people, you may be asking, what does being kind to yourself have anything in the universe to do with health and nutrition goals? Well, you know what? I am not really crazy about self-help material and ramblings, but in order to be successful with health goals, we have to acknowledge and embrace the mental and emotional capacity that we have and some of the things that might be holding us back. And this is a video about strategies. And these strategies have worked for myself as well as my patients. And it's all about how to be kind to yourself so that you can be more successful with your goals. So you game? So, hey there, this is Lindy Ford, registered dietitian, clinical and licensed nutritionist, and nutrition detective. So happy to be with you here today. Hey, listen, I wish I could counsel the whole world on YouTube, but unfortunately I can't. I can only give general nutrition information, but I do actually counsel people all over the United States. I mean, and actually not in other countries, but this country. And from California to Maine to Florida, all over the place, and it's so exciting, and they get the same amount of care that someone who comes into my office gets because I can see them through video conferencing. It works really well. So if you want more information, go ahead and email me about that and I'll shoot you some information about my practice. But please hit the bell there wherever it is and subscribe to this channel. You're going to want to know when new YouTube videos come out because they're really going to be beneficial to you this year. So why, how, and why do we need to be kind to ourselves? You know, sometimes we are kinder and more loving and really more patient with other people than we are to ourselves. And I just want to bring some of these things to your attention because it's going to help you to become more successful at your health weight loss goals this year. You got to almost get your mind in the game. And these are great strategies, things that I use for myself because I'm prone to do this, as well as for my patients. Well, the first principle, or the first thing I want to stress to you, and actually my favorite is going to be at the end, okay? So I just let you know that that one is my last one. But my first one is a good one too, I'm telling you, and that is that we need to practice self-compassion, but not self-indulgence, because they're totally two different things. And self-compassion is really not self-esteem, guys. I really think that self-esteem has more to do with when we're winning. Like when we're winning and things are going well, we have that spell in our lives where everything just is, you know, everything we touch turns to gold and things are happening for us, and we're going to just have a high self-esteem. We're going to feel better about ourselves. But self-compassion is there when we're not winning, okay? And that happens oftentimes. We're not winning. And I can think of one area like in middle age, okay? So many of us are, and I consider middle age, anybody over 40 really is in middle age. And sometimes some people define it even younger, oh my goodness. But guys, listen, we have to exhibit or practice self-compassion in middle age because things have changed. Your strategies for health, weight loss, any of your goals are not going to be the same as when you were 25, or you will fail because your hormones are changed. And it's not just your sex hormones, guys, it's your adrenal hormones. And it's also something, and you know I'm going to talk about it every single video, right? It's insulin and insulin resistance. We become more insulin resistant as we age, and we have to change it up and we have to do things differently. So being compassionate with ourselves, we just aged. We didn't do anything to deserve that, but to acknowledge that. You know, really self-compassion is always it's really about being truthful with ourselves, right? And being self-aware. It's kind of like saying, you know what, I made a mistake. I made a mistake in the way I did that, but you know what? I'm going to learn from that mistake and I just won't do that again. That is self-compassion. You know, I know people, and one person in particular that I know, and believe me, they won't be watching this video because they are so not self-aware. And so every time I see them, they're they've got some kind of like really bad carbohydrate drink, or they're just came from the fast food place, and I mean their life is just carbohydrate after carbohydrate, and it's really leading them into a perfect storm of complete health breakdown. You know, we're talking about obesity already, but just health problems, but they don't understand that. They don't realize that these foods are leading to that. And also, they're just not self-aware. They're not willing to look at it, maybe out of ignorance, maybe out of just denial. I don't know, but that's really self-indulgence. That's not self-compassion, and just letting yourself go is not self-compassion. You know, I look at self-compassion more like a person who really, like a friend who loves us, but is going to be truthful with us. It's going to be kind to us, but truthful. And so we really want to be more compassionate with ourselves, but that doesn't mean that we allow ourselves to get away with a whole bunch of things and just make excuses, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right. The second thing that is so good to practice self-kindness with is to fill in the gap with a positive. Now, my husband and I learned this when we took a marriage class. It was so good, or it was actually as a video. It was a video series by a guy by the name of Andy Stanley, and I forgot which one, iMarriage or whatever one he did. It was a really, really good one, and it was, one of the modules was, in marriage, we need to fill in the gap with a positive. That means if your spouse is a half an hour late, you don't automatically think that they don't care about the family and all those negative thoughts that come into your mind. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You say, oh, wait, they must have just gotten really tied up at work, or somebody stopped them, or maybe they got into traffic. You fill in the gap with the positive, right? And we need to do that with ourselves as well. This is a habit. This is something that maybe this year you are going to just say, every time I say something negative about myself or think something negative, it's more of a thought pattern, that I'm going to change that around. I'm going to change that around and fill that gap in. Fill the, I'm not sure what's happening here, in with the positive. Now, a good example would be that, you know, maybe you failed in the past of healthy eating, or getting yourself more physically fit, or losing weight. A negative way, filling the gap in with the negative, would be, you know, like, I've never been able to stick to a healthy eating plan, and this is my lot in life. I probably never will. Okay, that is not going to lead you to success, and it's not kind. You're not being kind to yourself. But a positive way of filling in the gap is, you know what? I have failed in the past, but this time, I'm going to equip myself with the tools that I need to be successful. And it's going to be hard, but I know I can do it, and I'm not going to give up. When I fail, I'm going to get right back into it, and I'm not going to give up. So number 3 is my absolute favorite, because I see so many of my patients, I've seen myself fall into this one, and I have to really be mindful and cognizant not to do it. This one is, realize you are not perfect, but you can be good, or you can even be excellent. This is a really good one. Guys, it's about consistency and not perfection. And some personality types have more of a problem with this. You know, more of the, I don't know, the thoughtful, melancholy personalities have a real hard time with perfection. That everything has to be just right and just perfect. And that really leads us into what I call the what the heck effect, okay? What the heck effect. if you fall into the what the heck effect, you are going to, first of all, you're not kind to yourself, but you're going to fail, okay? So here's what the heck effect is. Let me give you one example. So you've been on kind of a trajectory of getting healthier, right? And so you've been, you know, preparing meals and eating well, and you started your day off. Let's just say it's one day, and you started your day really, really well. You had a great breakfast. You didn't eat that mid-morning snack. You had a wonderful, wonderful lunch. You feel really satiated. You had those good fats. Remember, it's not about low fat. You had good fats at lunch. You feel good. And then all of a sudden you had a stressful day at work. Okay, so things got a little bit heated up at work, and you're walking by the vending machines at work, and the Snickers bars, they're just calling your name. Okay, you could hear them. You can hear the little Snickers bars calling your name. Come over here. And you get a Snickers bar and a cup of coffee or whatever it is, and you eat that at your desk. What the heck effect says, what the heck? I've blown it. I have messed up my day with that. Even though you don't acknowledge all the good eating you did, you don't acknowledge all of the good things, you only focus in on that candy bar. And you say, what the heck? And the rest of the day is just like a field day for unhealthy eating. You go and you eat like half a pizza for dinner. You're gonna have some dessert afterwards. You're just going to go hog wild after that because you messed up. I saw that also. You know where I saw that? This was really a phenomenon I've never seen before. We had a pretty catastrophic event happen here in Wilmington where we had a big hurricane in the fall, and most of the town had to evacuate, and we did evacuate. Wish I hadn't, but we did evacuate, and things just got messed up. I had many patients. I have several patients who that hurricane literally knocked them for a loop into unhealthy eating that just kept going. It was like the Energizer Bunny. It just wouldn't stop going. It snowballed and snowballed into weeks and weeks. Even after they got back from the hurricane, they were still eating all of the things that really weren't serving them well. It's okay. I didn't eat perfect when I was evacuated, but I didn't completely fall off the wagon, and I didn't, if I did it 80% right, I felt like I was doing okay because I wasn't really in my surroundings. I wasn't trying to be perfect. So if you try to be perfect, it will lead you into this, what the heck, I'm just going to throw everything to the wind. I'm not going to reach my health goals that I know I should be reaching. And it is such a destructive pattern. It is not being good to yourself. Being good most of the time. Now listen to this. Being good most of the time equals success. Not being good 100% of the time. 100% is not attainable. So here they are. These are some of my favorite ways to be kind to yourself. Because listen, guys, we all need to do that. We don't want to just be indulgent and say, it doesn't matter and I'm going to do whatever I want. We want to challenge ourselves. We want to be a little hard on ourselves at times, but we also, with that firmness, we want to be kind. And those are my best suggestions for you. And I really hope that they helped you, because I want you to be successful this year. Let me know if that was helpful below. I'd love to see and hear your comments. And also remember that I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter, Lindy Ford Nutrition and Wellness, Lindy Wellness. And remember that everyone deserves kindness, especially from themselves.